This movie is exactly what the title suggests. Bad. Bad Moms is directed by the writers of the Hangover trilogy, John Lucas and Scott Moore, and it stars a lot of funny ladies: Mila Kunis, Katherine Hahn, Christina Applegate, Kristen Bell, Jada Pinkett Smith. A lot of people in this movie, a lot of funny ladies in this movie, and this movie had a lot of potentials to be super funny. Trailers had me intrigued. They looked funny. The premise is basically these moms that have had enough with being good moms because there's so much pressure put on them because they have to do so many things with school and their kids, and it's like it's hard being a mom, so they just give up. And Mila Kunis is the leader of the pack that is fed up with living up to these standards, and she just wants to take a break from being such a good mom, and she wants to be a bad mom, and she leads a whole cult, basically. So the movie has a funny premise, it has funny actresses in it, good actresses, and all that it has to do is make me laugh to be a good movie. But does the movie do that? Of course not. This movie is so stupid, it's so over the top, and it's so just ridiculous, and I just could not put my finger on it of why I just did not like this movie. You know what I think it is that right from the beginning, the timing was just off for me. For whatever reason, I don't know if it was the acting, or if it was the writing, or just the directing, or a mixture of all three, but throughout the whole movie, I could tell that there was funny things happening, especially with the theater I was in. Everybody was laughing and having such a great time. But for me, I just could not get into this movie because everything just seemed off. Every time that they told the joke, it just seemed like it was a joke for the movie. There was no real scenes. If anything, this movie was just a montage of slow motion, and I felt like they had funny moments throughout it that they had in their head, but then putting together a story was just like, yeah, we'll put it together in this order and that'll be the story. The story is so stupid and over the top, and it's like, it doesn't develop anything, and then it tries to be emotional, but it's not emotional. It's just stupid at that point. You don't care, and then it's like but my favorite part, I'm sorry, the favorite part is at the very end. The little girl is all mad at mom because of course she messes up, and she's like, she lays out the law and be like, "You're a terrible mom. You've done this and this and this. You've stopped being good mom," and like, what are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, what? Like, do you not realize how awful of a mom you've been? Like, you're being a bad mom, but you're being like an awful person. Everybody in this movie just became an awful person. And it's like, how are we supposed to like this character right now? They're like not doing anything right. She just completely quits her job. She completely just starts doing insane stuff with all the other moms. It's like this is supposed to be some like power trip for moms, like, oh, just start being a bad mom and you could, you know, be happy. I'm like, can you just be a good human being? Is that there was actually funny lines in the movie. I could tell that there was funny jokes, and there was things that I could have made me laugh if maybe there was like better performances, but I don't blame the actresses because I think they worked the best with what they were given. I think this is mostly because of the directors that I just didn't like this movie because I don't think that they directed very well. I feel like they kind of the movie seemed so like improvised, but so scripted at the same time, and it felt like it was just setting up for jokes and it wasn't real. This movie really had me just, I couldn't understand what was wrong with it. I feel like they tried to push it too hard at some points, but not hard at other points. I feel like they could have really gone for the joke at some points and then didn't go for it, and then they pushed it too much. This movie was so conflicting in my mind. I was watching it and I was hearing all the laughter of everybody else, and I just wished that I was having a good time like they were, but I could not get into it. None of the jokes landed for me. They were there and they could have been funny, but because everything was so over the top and stupid and just insane, and nothing was grounded, and then when they tried to be grounded, it didn't work. I couldn't get into it. Nothing made me laugh. There was funny lines, and I could understand why people could laugh at it, but I couldn't. Like, okay, for instance, say that I was going to tell a joke that Kevin Hart told. I could tell it exactly how he says it. I could say it word for word, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to be as funny as Kevin Hart. The way that he delivers the lines and the way that he puts the joke forward is going to be so much funnier than I could ever do it. I feel like there was funny lines in this movie, but if it was just done by better directors with these actresses, it could have been so much better. If they would have just told it through a different voice, I feel like it could have been better, but it wasn't there for me. It's hard for me to explain. It's like conflicting in my mind why I just did not find this movie funny, but it just was not funny to me. And I feel like I'm a little bit left out because everybody else seemed to love it in my theater, but I just was not into it. I really ended up not liking this movie, and it just grew on me to this point that I really did not like this movie. I'm going to go 1 out of 5 for Bad Moms. Really kind of disappointed by it. I feel like there was such potential, and they just failed. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you like this and you want to see more reviews from a guy like me, Tom Waterloo, then please like and share this video, leave a comment down below, and most importantly, subscribe. And I'll see you guys at the next one.